What's going on, guys? Welcome back to On the Farm and Off. Been a while since I made a video. Well, I mean, it hasn't been that long since I made a video, but I have a bunch of half videos that I haven't uploaded, so I just deleted them. But gonna try to vlog today. Gonna check all my systems, my water irrigation systems, make sure they're all walking, make sure the water's good. It's been pretty dry out. We could use a pretty good rain already, but might as well show you what my crops are looking like as well. So let's go jump into that. My first stop is here on my Halo variety, salt tolerant variety from Dyna-Gro. Starting to look pretty good. Just gotta sit here and wait till it moves. Looks like the pressure's holding up pretty good. This circle always has a little bit problem with keeping good pressure, but I got them moving pretty slow this week. It's supposed to be over 100 degrees pretty much all week, so gotta keep that fruit on it, so give it a nice cool down. So he just walked, so I'll show you a better part of the cotton. It's kind of weaker dirt right here, it's kind of sandy, but I'll show you a better part of the cotton over there by that well. Right here is a good example of how dry it is. I have sprayed this field one time and I have not got another rain, so not another flush of weeds has come up since I sprayed it. So could use the rain pretty bad, but actually crops look pretty good considering. So let's go check that well and I'll show you a better part of the cotton. So I mean, yeah, there's spots that look like this, so I wish it all looked like this, but it doesn't all look like this, but a lot of it does. So, I mean, it's nice and big and full. If you go in here, it has a good fruit set. It's not very loaded yet. I mean, it has a few bowls already and it's branching out further, and it's not very far spaced yet. Gotta look at these top ones here, and it's not looking like it's spaced out too far. Look at all, it has two squares right there and a bloom right there. A pink bloom means it's almost a bowl. Yellow bloom means it's just now starting. So it turns yellow first, and then it goes, well, I guess white, yellow, whatever you want to call it, and then it turns into this color here. And then under that color is your bowl. So yeah, you can see a lot of pink already on here. So I think this slow watering was a good idea. Keeping the ground nice and wet. So let's get back to checking other fields. And this right here is what my dry land looks like. This is the stuff that I planted first from all my cotton. And it's looking pretty good. For as dry as it is, It's got a good load on it. I'm happy with it. You can see all these blooms on the ground. I don't know if those all made it into bowls, whatever you want to say, or if those are some of them that fell off because of heat stress, because during the day this field will heat stress a lot, especially when it gets 101 degrees. So now in the morning, I can't even believe that it's still recuperating in the mornings like it is, because after lunch it just sits there with the leaves all the way down, and then you'll see every now and then you'll see a plant that doesn't even recuperate. But let's go see kind of an average plant, see how full it is, see what the load is on it. I wish they were all as full as this one here. Check out that guy. For dry land, that is pretty awesome. Yes, you can see it's shedding already. All these squares, these are actually bowls already. That was just from touching them. It'll start shedding its, see, it'll start shedding its fruit because it can't hold on to them because it's too dry. So that hurts a little bit seeing that, but the average plant probably looks about like this one, right? Like that one there maybe. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about six bowls on it. So I mean, that's not too terrible. It's not great by any means, but for dry land it looks really good. If we could have got a rain, man, there was a pretty good chance a couple of weeks ago, or not even, probably a week ago, some people got a nice big rain, like over 3 inches. So if I could have got that, all that fruit that it's shedding, and would have been great. But it is what it is. It still looks good for dry land. This well was good. Got to check one more well for this field, and then we can go check the next fields. And this here is my Dyna-Gro 3520, and it's kind of late that I put this down, but you can see these weeds. I already ran the sweeps on it and killed all of them in the furrow, but now I just gotta spray it. But the cotton's looking really good. It looks like it's gonna have a good load on it too, but it's kind of early to tell for this variety yet, for this cotton yet. But I am putting a pretty good amount of fertilizer down right now, pretty good nitrogen to help it shoot up. This whole field. The other half is 3109, so we'll go take a look at that. But this stuff is gonna shoot up. I'll give you an update probably in a week, and you're probably not gonna believe how big of a difference it's gonna make after that fertilizer gets to those roots. But if you look from with the sun, you can see all the squares, kind of like right there, kind of like all that color stuff. Those are all squares, so you can see it's putting on a pretty good load. So let's go check that 3109 on the other half. And this is the field that I'm putting down fertilizer right now. This is my youngest cotton. This was planted on June 15th. It was replanted. I had to replant this because the first planting, it just died on me. I don't know why, but this is my Dyna-Gro 3109, and it's a early variety, so it should mature fast enough. The only thing that I'm kind of worried about, okay, well, he's on. That gearbox on closest to the camera, it was completely dry with grease or oil. They're supposed to have oil in there, the gearboxes. It was completely dry, and it spun in the tire because this one locked up. It spun in the far side tire and broke off both U-joints on both gearboxes. And I just put the new U-joints on there and pumped this sucker full of grease that we use to grease our implements, and it's holding up and it's quiet. When I first cranked it up, it was making a loud grinding noise, but it's quiet now and it's walking. This stuff stayed tiny forever. This is a plant that survived the first planting. That's how they all should be. That's how they are. So, I mean, knowing that I could have cotton like that kind of hurts, but the other stuff is finally growing. It has a good color to it. I'm putting fertilizer down on this stuff as well, and some plants are still kind of stunted. For some reason, they're just staying small. You'll see that there's a row that there's a couple that look good, and there's that one. I don't know if it could be nematodes, but I'm not sure. So, see what this cotton will do. I'll keep you guys updated too after this dry land, after this shot of nitrogen that I'm giving it. It's gonna start shooting up, and then I'm gonna put some foliar feed down, some phosphate to keep the plant healthy and get those roots to soak in the moisture and the nutrients it needs. So, all right, we got one more field to check, one more system to check, 2 more varieties to check. And while I'm here, I'll show you my dry land that isn't really gonna do nothing, but this is stuff that I planted. That other dry land I showed you, I planted in the wet dirt. And I planted it on April 30th. And it came up right away. And then this stuff here I planted a couple of days before the deadline. It stayed dry through the whole planting season. So I just put this in the dry dirt. And we got a rain, man, it was in June sometime. What time was it? It was probably like June 10th or so. And this stuff started coming up. So, I mean, this is what it's looking like. It kind of looks, I mean, it's kind of skippy, you can see. Well, this is probably not a very good area to show you guys, but you got some plants that look good and healthy. But we'll see what it does. It's not even that far behind, so this is a very, like, it's a medium to full length variety. It's also the Dynagrow 3635. I think I actually forgot to mention that on my other stuff, but you can see a brown spot right there. I had some weeds that just wouldn't die, but I finally got them dead. So we'll see what happens on this piece of dry land. One thing that I've made my mind up on, some areas you can dryland farm very well. They make big crops, they yield good. But here, I mean, it's hard. We kind of miss the rains that are important to us. So one thing I made up on my mind is not to stress over my dryland. I'm still gonna try, fertilize it, and give it my all and see if I can make a crop. But I mean, if it's dry, there's nothing you can do about it, and I'm not gonna stress about it. So focus on the irrigated here and see what that looks like. But yeah, let's go check that other system, and then we'll be done. Waiting for this guy to walk. This field I fertilized as well, so this cotton is going to shoot up as well. It's really small still. There she goes. She's a walking. I'm going to take you to a little bit of a better spot and show you what this cotton looks like on average. Well, I guess I could show you this half here. This is probably it. Well, I got quite a bit of hail on this field here. I kind of got hail on the south half. I got hail, and then the north half I didn't. But let me go ahead and show you here. Alright, so here, this is a Dynagrow 3402. And this was planted, I'm not quite sure what date it was, but it's kind of what it's looking like. This also got fertilizer, so I mean, it's gonna shoot up now. It's got some areas where it's a little bit skippy and weak for some reason. I think it was just too hot when it started coming up, but you can see this spot here. But I mean, once the field, you know, then you got like the rest of it looks like this. So I mean, those little spots ain't gonna hurt you. And I did round rows on this stuff because the valley tracks get so terrible, and you probably can't see it, but over there. There's it looks better over there, but it's pretty far to walk. So I mean, this stuff looks like it has a pretty good load on it already. Like I said, some of these varieties it's just too early to tell yet, but let's go check that other half. Yeah, I believe this is my, yeah, this is the 3402. It's supposed to be pretty dry land tolerant. It's supposed to be good. I mean, drought tolerant, not dry land tolerant. Drought tolerant. So, and I have 16 rows of turn rows, or 16 rows of turn rows here. And I had some grass here. I always have grass here every year. You can see it. Cotton's kind of small there, and I thought I had been keeping up with it, but the cotton's just kind of sick in there. Last year it didn't do that. Last year the cotton I had here just all grew good, so I'm not sure what that whole deal is. This stuff is also very young. This is four of these rows are the Halo 929, and then 4 of the rows are 18505 or 18506. I'm not quite sure. One of them I think is a experimental variety, so we'll see what it does. It's starting to grow now, but I mean up to you. When your cotton is up to this, till it gets to this size, I feel like it's slow, always slow. But I mean, it looks pretty, this variety, I don't know, it looks kind of lengthy, but it could probably surprise me. We'll see. Right now it's not looking too impressive yet. It's gonna have to do some growing to impress me, but I know this video is probably pretty long, so I'm gonna probably end it right here. Comment down below if your cotton crop this year is also late like ours is, because I just feel like our cotton crop is really far behind this year, because I mean it's already August 8th, and so it's got August, September, and some of October to get ready, because we'll sometimes get a freeze at the end of October or early November, but sometimes it'll only freeze in December. So we'll see what happens, and it's kind of an update on where I'm at. Been hauling bales a lot with my and making the old goat work. So thanks for watching this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.